All right, so this is QGIS environment. All right, so I will go and load some of those data that we have from our previous class so that we don't start from the beginning again. I'll click on new to open a new page. The first thing, as I said, is to check your coordinate reference system, which is under property. Okay, and then we are using WGS because we are working from different states, so we cannot use projected coordinate system. All right, so now I'll go to layer. Now this time around, I'm not creating a layer because we have some layers already. We have some boundaries of an estate that we have already generated from our previous class. So I'll just add a layer. I'll add vector layer because it's a vector. Then I'll click on browse here to locate the layer. Okay, then the layer is under this on my desktop, and then estate management, and is inside SHP, which means shapefile. All right, so if you zoom, if you scroll down now, you see we have a building here, and then you need to click the one that ends with SHP, click it, and then I click open, and then I click add. Okay, and then I close. All right, and then I'll go back again. I will layer, add layer, vector layer, I browse, and then I click on road, then I click open, and add and close. So I have a road. This was the road I digitized. So I'll bring in the raster now, which is the imagery, right? So how do you do that? You go to browse. We have our Google map already here. If you don't know how to add it here, we have repeated it many times in our video, so you can watch our videos on that. So I'll drag and drop. Okay. Now we see that the image is here. The data the layers are also there, but you see that we are not seeing the data because the image is on top of the layers. So I'll go to this layer, and then you drag your Google image, the Google map down so that it will be under it. So that as you can see now, we have our roads and then our image that we digitized. Now I can double click on this and then change the color so that you can see clearly. I'll go to symbology, and then I'll click on simple fill. I can change the color to possibly red so that we can see it clearly. I can at the same time go to stroke width and then increase it so that it will be thick. And then I click apply, I click OK. So you see we have our road and it's big. Okay. Now, the next thing, if you remember our last video, we have geotag image. Okay. We geotag our image. So you click on this, you click on identify tools, and then you click any of this image. Okay, so you see the image that is linked there, but based on the fact that it's a new folder that we created now, that is why the image is no longer seen. But we have seen in our last video, we have seen how we can actually tag our image and all that. Okay, so this is how we bring in, and this is where we stop. All right, so today we are going to do what we call composer. Now, composer now is that at the end of all your map, all your analysis, loading data, digitizing road, digitizing building, attaching information for all those things, there are some times that it's required for you to produce a simple presentation map where your supervisor might see or your client wants to see the location or exactly what you're doing. So you need to produce a map, all right? So, and in this QGIS environment, it's not something that you say, go to print and then just print it, you understand? Because this is the whole world you are seeing, right? You can zoom this thing and then you see this is the whole world, right? So it's not something that you say, let me just print. So you need to create your printing extent where you print, okay? Right. So in that place, they call it composer. That is the place where you compose your map, where you arrange your map. Okay, you put all the map components. Okay, right, which has to do with GIS. Then we talk about map component. Map component are these are some of the things that you're supposed to, as a cartographer, those that produce map, they call them cartographer, right? So you must not study cartography or geography before you become a cartographer. This is a digital world, so you can, it's a skills that you can develop yourself on. It's just for you to produce. So the main component of map is we have the title. Your map supposed to have a title. Your map supposed to have a scale. Your map supposed to have an arrowhead, that is a north arrow. Okay. And then what others? Your map supposed to have a title, the scale, the north arrow, and then whatever. And sorry, when we continue, I'll see things supposed to have 4 major components of map that we're supposed to have. Okay. So as we continue, I'll be able to figure out the other component that is your map supposed to have. But now we talk about the title, the scale of your map, the arrow. Okay. It's possibly there's some map that you have to include source, the source of the map, and all those kind of things. All right. So depend on the requirements of that map. But there are some things that are actually compulsory to have for your map. So now I'll continue. I'll go to the composer. Now, for you to go to the composer, now you see you can go to your project here and click on new layout manager. Okay, click on layout manager. It will take you to your layout. Bring out your layout. Okay. All right. So now, if you come here, you see empty layouts, right? Now, if you click on here, we have empty report, we have empty layout. We are going to work on layout, not report. So we have specific, when you have a template already, maybe you have been producing before, and then you have a certain template that you want to use. That template for your map. But now we are going to an empty place. So I'll click on empty layout, and then I'll click on create, and then I'll name the composer as, let's say, map 1. You can write any name, and then I click OK from here. Now it's here a new window, which I'll go back to that place now, because obviously you are not seeing that particular screen. So I'll click on share, and then I'll share the composer screen. So you are seeing my composer screen now, right? An empty window that is blank, right? I hope you are seeing my composer screen.
Yes, sir.
Good. So now this is the composer screen. Now you see that this is a new place. We have our map side where we do all our analysis, where we do all the things. This is the GIS environment, which is the QGIS environment. All right. So now the first thing you need to do is for you to add your map. Now, you know, we have map there. All right. We have the map there already. So now I will take you to, now if you click on this add map here, you're seeing here, this is palm, this is zoom, this is pick tools, and this is move item, this is edit node. I'm going to explain all those things. Add map, add 3D map, and then add map. Okay, which is the one that we're going to add now. I'll click on add map, and then I'll click here and drag, just mark it, like we are drawing a rectangle, and then it add. So as you can see, we have added our map, right? So this is the map that we want, the area that we want to show. So you can see it already. Now, even without you adding anything, possibly if the map you are doing or what you are doing is not something that required any standard stuff, if it's just for you to show your client a particular locations, if you don't need title and all that, you can export this immediately. For example, we have export here. Okay, export as JPEG here. You can export immediately, and then you have your map just as you add this, right? But there are some details that you need to add. For example, I talk about title, right? So this is your map. Now, one thing I want you to know is this. We have Here we have move, select move item, and then we have move item content. Now this move item, now you are moving the whole map, the whole item, right? That's to say you are moving the whole map, right? From the composer's layout, okay? But now when you click on move item content, that is to say your map is not moving at all. You're only moving the content inside. You see, it's not moving. The first one, this thing is moving out of the layout that is prepared for your map, depending on the paper size, right? But now the second one, which is move item content, we are moving within. So possibly you added this and then discover that your map that you want is actually at the top here. You can zoom or you can move it to that location. Let's assume this is where I want. Okay, or I can move back to where exactly I want. Okay, I can center, and then possibly at the cost of me showing this, I want this particular building here at this place to show, so I can shift this, and then I have this. Possibly this place will be used as a landmark. Maybe the person that you are sending the site know this place, so you are telling him that, okay, this place is kind of opposite this particular the site that you want the person to go and all that, or the particular estate or the facilities that you want the person to see. Okay, so this is how you arrange it. So if you have arranged your map, the next thing now is to go to your add label, which is adding text now. Okay, now before we do that, you need to know the paper size. Okay, you need to know the paper size. Possibly if it's just a simple place, you can just use your A4. But how do you set that? You can right click on the page here and then go to page property. And then under the page property now, we have A4, we have orientation, we have the width and the height. So I can decide to change it to A3. I click on A3. Now, if you look at A3, now I see that the paper size have increased, right? So how will I do that? Now I can just click on this, make sure, because it's on item, move item content, right? So I'll click on select / move item. Then I now move this. Can I move this? All right. So I will go back on my move item content and then shift it again and then position my target, because this is actually our target area. Okay. So after that, I can now add my title. That is if it is A3 that you want. We have A3, we have A2, we have A1, we have A0. Okay. All those things are available for printing. So depending on the kind of machines you have and then the level of details that you want to show. Okay. So if you want to show each of the building very clearly, you need to increase this. Okay. Then I'll show you how to do that as well. If you want to increase it, that's to say you have to work with the scale. For example, now we have the scale of 1946, right? So now the more you reduce the scale, the bigger the zoom in or the clarity is the object. For example, now if instead of this 1900, now if I reduce it to 1000, and then I click, you see that it come out. The estate come out very big, and then you can use your content and then adjust it. Okay, with this, you see more details, okay? So, and then you can also reduce it. You can do the same thing. Click, you bring out the scale. Instead of this 900, you can make it to 2000. So that it will see more features, even more than the previous arrangement we have. Because when you are showing location, there are two different, we have location map, we have directional map, okay? There are map that we want to show you how you can get to a particular site. So at that point, it's better you show more features so that the person will say, okay, this is this building, we have this blue roof here, we have these particular structures here, okay, this is the location. And then when you show that, now if you want the client to actually show details, now you can now bring it out a bit so that you can see details. Depend on the aim of your map. All right. So I want to add the title of the map. I'll click on add label. And then I come to the top here where I want to put the map, and then I click and drag, like you are drawing a rectangle. Okay, it brings out this box here. You cannot type straight here. Okay, remember you cannot type here. So you only type here. So I can remove this and then type anything I want to type. I can just say map, or I'll just say facility map. Okay, it's a facility map. Then now, if you look at it now, it is showing. If you can see, it is showing, but it's very small, right? It's actually showing, but it's small. So you click on it. Okay, click on it so that it displays the property of the text, right? Now I can, from here we have the font. You can increase the font. Okay, and then here we can also change the color. So I can change it to white. Okay, I can change it to white. And at the same time, you can shift it and position it. Okay, and at the same time, you can make your map to be bold, your text to be bold, and you can increase it more. And then you click OK. So as you can see, it's big now. Okay, and at the same time, you can leave this place to be black. Sorry, you can leave the color to be black the way it is earlier. And then we will now add a background to your map, to your text, so that you see it. So as you can see, I can reduce this and then reduce it. This is more clearer. The other, some organizations don't like this because they don't want this background image or the background color to actually cover any content. So depend on the kind of map that you are doing actually, and then the template of that organization. Every organization has their own template on how they want their map to be. Okay, so this is how you add your text or the title of your map. Okay, I talk about the map need to have the next thing, the map need a legend. Okay, actually forgot that the map need to have a legend. Every map need to have a legend. That is the key. Very, very important, because without the legend in any map or without the key of any map, you definitely the map will not have meaning. For example, if I show map, if I show that this is a map, okay, now without me showing this line, without me telling you that this red line is a road, you will not know, because the only thing you know that there's a line. All right, but now it's only when I put a key or when I put a legend that red line is road, red line polygon is building. Okay, that's when you show. You can decide, you have different, depend on the layers or the information you have, but you have to represent all of them with a legend, which is a key. Okay, I hope you guys are following.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So this is how you present them. This is how you show your. Now the next thing is that you need to add your not arrow, or you can add your legend first. Okay, or you add your not arrow or the scales. Anyone, depend on the template you are using, depend on where you want to position all those things. At the same time, I can come and then add my legend, let's say to this particular location. Okay, and then I have the legend here. So we have road, and then we have building. So you see it automatically give you that. But we don't need this Google map because that is a base map. We don't need it. You don't need to show it on the legend. So how will you remove it? Just click on auto update. Uncheck this auto update. Then you click on this Google map that you don't need. You scroll down, move down. You see remove selected item. You click so that will go, and then have this. Okay, you can position it anywhere you want to position, depending on your template, as I said. And at the same time, you can increase them, can increase the size, whereby I can go to symbols, and then symbol width, I can increase, you can see it, that is big. And then the symbol height, you can increase it also so that it will balance. Okay, so this is your legend, this is your key. Okay, then we have the arrowhead. As I said, the arrowhead showing the position, okay, of your, that is the direction of your map. So I click, and then you click and drag. So you have your arrow head. Let me do it again. Click, you start from down, you click and then you move up, you click and then you right click. So have your arrowhead. You can change the color, arrow stroke color, you can change it. Based on the fact that we're having white, can change it as well. At the same time, you can also change the line of the arrows. Okay. Then we talk about the scale. You click on your scale bar here, you click, and then you come to position where you are putting your scale. You drag it. Then have your scale bar. Okay. Now all these things can be positioned in one place, in one location. You don't actually need to scatter it. Okay. I can just choose this location here to arrange all my content, all my components that I want, both the north scale, both the this and all that. All of them can be positioned. Let's say somewhere here, I can put this here, and then my this stuff here. And you can decide to leave your arrowhead here because that is the position is actually okay, but you can put it anywhere you want to put. So depending on where you want to put them, leaving this one, you can also add a background color and all these kind of things, and depend on the pattern at which you are using for your, or the template you are using for your production of map. Okay, so now we have on the scale, under this style, we have numeric scale, where it will show you the scale instead of the scale bar. So you can decide to show your scale using scale bar, or show your scale using the numeric scale. 1:2000. Remember, that is what we use. Okay, so there are some organizations that want both the numeric and the scale bar together. So all those things depend on the template that you are using. But the goal is to actually shows the map and then show all the components of the map. Now, if you look at this, our scale is not showing, like it's not showing clearly, right? So I can click here. Now, what you need to understand is that if you click, for example, if I click on this map, the information that is showing here, you see, this is main property, right? I call it main property. The property that is showing at this moment is the property of the map itself, okay? Then if I click on this facility map, the property that is showing now is the property of the label, which has to do with the text. So any change you are making to this thing is affecting this, right? And then the information now is relate strictly on information that has to do with this text. Okay. Now that's the same thing applied to this my scale. The information here is about this scale. All right. So you can increase them, you can reduce them, you can change the background. At the same time, you can create a frame for it. For example, I can add background to it and then you position it. Okay. Or at the same time, you can actually add a kind of rectangle. For example, from here, I can add a rectangle from this whole place. Okay. And then make that rectangle to be behind. So I'll go to here, look at the top here. I'll click on this arrow. I'll click on send to back. I'll send it to back, right? Then I'll click on, based on the fact that I send it to back, it go back of the map itself. So I'll click on the map and then I'll click on this place and then I click send to back also for the map. So what I'm trying to achieve is that I want these whole details here to be in one white background. All right, so you can rearrange them, okay, so that I don't waste space. Okay, then now this is your map. Okay, this is the map. Possibly this is the location map of particular site or a particular facility that you just produced. Okay, showing the content and then the skills. Now you see, for example, now here is written road. This is building. Now there are sometimes that what you use to save the layer is actually not the name, the right name that you're supposed to use. So you can also do your adjustments here for here. Now, for example, this is road. Now I can decide to change it to road network instead of just road. So I'll click on it and then I'll use this edit here. Then give me room for me to edit. On the right road, I can add network to it. I change it depending on what you want. So you can see here now, we have a road network there. Okay. The same thing with this building. I can decide to call, maybe I can decide to call it estate. I'll click on edit here. I can remove this building and then write estate. So you can be able to adjust and change the level of your agent. Okay, all the things you can actually edit them. Okay, then your map itself, this has to do with your border. Okay, so if you go down, if you print this map like this, there'll be no border line. Although even when there's no border line, based on the fact that there's a background image, you can actually, the map will still make sense. But normally it is required that you put your border line, which is the frame on the map. So you click, all the information here is about the map. If you go down, if you scroll down, you see all this information about the map. Now, concerning your text, you have more information, which I say you can change the color of your text. Now, instead of the black, I can change it to blue, and it will still work. You can at the same time rotate your text. You can make it centered and middle. If it is not showing clearly, you can extend this so that it will fit your map. You can at the same time rotate your map, your text. You see, can rotate it to fit. Let's assume you are putting something like an access road here. You know, this road is not straight, so you cannot write it straight. So at that point, you can align the text to fit to what you want. I can undo, take it back to where it is. All right. Then after that, you now click on export as image. Right? We have export as PDF. So we'll just export this as image. Okay. I'll close this. Now it will take me to where I want to save it, so I can go back to my desktop. I have a folder called Estate Management, and then I have a folder called Image, but I can save I can save it directly here. I can put it inside the image. So I call it map 1 or estate map or facility map. Facility map. And then I click save. Then I click save here. Okay, I'll now I'll share my desktop so that I can show you the exported map. Share. Click on my desktop. Then I'll go to desktop, estate map. Are you seeing my desktop? I'm in estate map now. Estate management folder. Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
Good. I'll go to image. This is the exported map. So you can send this to your clients and then send it to anybody that you want to send to. The arrangement of your map has to do with your cartographic arrangement. This thing that is here can be moved down here. Okay. Your image itself can be shifted to any direction. Do you hear me? At the same time, there are some maps that the template is based on. The template is like this. You just have to shift the whole map and have a white background here where you put all your information here. Like for example, your title will be here. In fact, based on our work here at Kaduna as a consultant, our template is actually like this. We don't actually put information about the map inside the map because it actually covers things. So, but there are some time maybe we are doing just a field map or just a simple map just to show a simple thing that doesn't require any other information. You can actually put it to avoid wasting time. Okay, but normally, if you put map in the exact place that you put information or the component of the map in the exact position, it actually covers some details. So that's why it's not advisable. So you can arrange them like this to have this is the title of the map, facility map, and then this is my legend, and then this is the scale. Okay, I can remove this now, and then the north arrow, you can, or I can just add a new one here. I can add my north arrow somewhere here. It's actually small, so let me do it again. North arrow. Click and then drag. Based on the fact I want the arrow to face up. So you see, you can put it like that. And shift your scale. And at the same time, you can even put both the numeric and the scale bar together. So this is the numeric, and you can at the same time you can add your scale bar. Okay. Okay, so you can combine all of them. There are some organizations that actually want you to combine so that you can see both the bar and the numeric data. Okay, so and then at the same time you can add the source of your map by just adding a text somewhere here, or you can add a note. So you can type any information about the map that you want to type. You can write the source of the map, many other information that you need to add here. And then you can position it somewhere here. So all those things depend on the company templates or the organizational template. So do you have any question as regard to this? Composer?
No, sir.
Okay.
Right.
You don't have any question?
For this one, we don't have any question for you, sir.
Okay. So, but
But I have a question, sir.
yes.
I said, is there any way, like the way you have the digital in the digitization of the map, the
Yes.
digitization, is there
Yes.
any way that you can remove it without the base map? What I'm talking about,
Like you can
you
produce,
have sketched the,
you can produce a map on a composer without the base map.
yeah,
Yes, sure.
without the base map, yeah.
Yes. Now I'll share it. Just what you need is to off the base map. I'll share my uh QGIS now. This is QGIS, right? Now this is the base map, right? Now what I need to do, if I don't want the base map on that composer, I'll just come here and click on
Yes,
this.
sir.
I'll just click on this checkbox here. I'll uncheck it. You see that there's no base map now, right?
Okay.
Right? There's no base map.
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
yes, sir.
And then I'll
Yes,
go
sir.
back to my composer again. I'll share the composer, right? So what I need to do now, just come here, you click on refresh. Look like refresh here.
Okay.
You click on refresh,
Yes, sir.
and then you have your map without the base map. You can export. It's not all the map that require base map. Okay, it's not all map that you must put base map. There are some details that actually you don't need. If you put base map, it will actually scatter the whole thing. So there are some things that you don't actually need to put base map. So you can produce a map without the base map. You are in control of all the layers, right? So it's what you want that will show. For example, now I have line and then I have digitized building. I can decide not to show the building. It's only the line or the road I want to show. Just for me to go back to my QGIS environment and then I'll off the building. So you see that the building is no longer showing. And then I'll go back to the composer and refresh it. I'll show only the, like when I click on refresh now, only the road will show. So this is only the road that you want it to show. Okay. Now you can click on your export as image or as PDF and then you export your map. Do you have any other question? But
I have another question again.
okay, sir. Okay.
Can I ask?
Yes, sir. Yes, continue, sir.
In terms of this picture that you are inserting to the file,
Yes, the interlink.
yeah.
Yes.
I saw when you are inserting it,
Mm.
you put it, but the block 1 and block 2, it block 1 and block 2, it comes at the same picture. Is there
Yes,
any
it's because
that you can differentiate it? Because
yes. When I load that, the process of me loading the picture or doing the geotagging, I copy the link, right? If you watch the video, I copy the link of which is show me the directory to that folder, and then I click on that particular picture and then rename it. I click on rename and copy the name of the picture and then copy and paste on that the same link. That is to tell you that I'm directing the link to one particular picture. So if you have multiple pictures, the reason why I use one picture in showing knowledge is because I'm having only one image. So you can add multiple. If you want to add up to 1,000 pictures, you can add. The only thing is that make sure you copy the link to that picture and then copy the name of that particular picture and link them together.
Did
you understand?
What I mean,
yes.
Each block. What I mean, each block may be, on the estates, on the estate.
Yes.
Each block has different shape.
Yes.
So the shape cannot be the same. So is it possible this block has its own shape, this block has its own shape? Because you cannot put the same on all of the blocks.
Yes. You are the one that is digitizing now, right? So you digitize based on the shape of the block.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes,
you are the one that is digitizing. don't mind like my own digitization. In fact, when I was digitizing, I actually did
No.
not put into consideration the shape, right? So, but when you when you are doing a professional work, when we are doing something for somebody, you can zoom your satellite image very well so that I see the shape of the building or the shape of the estate or the shape of the block, so that you digitize it based on the shape. You understand? So you can digitize any shape. As far as it's a polygon, it will still form that polygon.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.